Hey guys, it's Sydney, and today we will be talking about And Just Like That. I want to put a disclaimer out there. It is thundering outside, like really bad, and also I'm eating cashews, and I want to film before it starts thundering really bad. Let's just get right into it. And Just Like That is a revival of Sex and the City, following the main cast except for Samantha, navigating their life in their mid-50s. Now, they're middle-aged.
Clock that tea.
The series started in 2021 and has 2 seasons. A 3rd season is currently in production and is slated to be released in 2025. Despite its commercial success, people think the show is unnecessary and a stain on the original Sex and the City legacy. In the last 11 years, Carrie and Big have been happily married with no children. Carrie is participating in a podcast with Che Diaz and Jackie Nee. Charlotte and Harry are still married and their 2 children are in middle and high school. Miranda decided to switch careers and start doing humanitarian work, so she went back to school and is taking classes at Columbia. And her and Steve's child, Brady, is dating Luisa Torres, and they're doing what teens do, if you catch my drift. Anthony and Stanford are also still married, but Stanford was written off the show due to Willie Garrison passing away in September of 2021. Also, Anthony has started a sourdough business over the pandemic called Hot Fellas. This show is set in like real life, so it is a lot of COVID humor in the first couple of episodes, and that is annoying. I'm not really gonna touch on that. I just wanted to say that was really annoying me at first, because I'm like, oh my gosh, here they go with the pandemic humor. Now that all the background information is out of the way, let's get into the first season. Episode 1 of And Just Like That, Charlotte, Miranda, and Carrie meet for lunch and are introduced to one of Charlotte's friends, Lisa Todd Wexley. Now, Lisa Todd Wexley is this wonderful woman. She is a mother of 3. She is a Black filmmaker. She's extremely successful with a successful husband. It's just mother all around, okay? Charlotte invites the girls to Lily's piano recital, which none of them are keen on going to. And at first, Carrie says she can't come because she and Big are supposed to go to the Hamptons, but they pushed the trip back because Charlotte really wants Carrie and Big to be there. Mostly Carrie. Miranda goes to her first day of class with her professor, Nia Wallace, and it is the most awkward interaction ever. When Nia walks into the classroom and she sits where the professor's supposed to sit, Miranda says, "Oh, that's where the professor sits." Like, as in a way, like, to help her, because somebody else told her that's where the professor sit before. And so Nia's like, "I'm the professor." And Miranda's like, "You're Nia Wallace? I just didn't think you were the professor because you have braids." What is that supposed to be? Nia's like, "A law professor can't have hair like mine." And I was like, whoa, how did we get here? Whoa, not my social justice warrior in training, Miranda Haas, being racist first day. Whoa. But Miranda's like, "Oh no, it's just because your picture on the Columbia website is so different." And then she starts rambling. And I'm like, girl, it's been 3 minutes and you're still rambling on and on. Like, at first it was funny, but it was more painful to watch, if anything, especially as a Black woman. It was so painful to watch. Like, I have had an experience like this before. Not exactly like this, but one of my teachers, he said when I got my silk press, he was like, "Oh, you look like Michelle Obama." And I was like, what? I was like, what? And then Miranda is also very stressed out because her life isn't where she really wants it to be. So she starts turning to alcohol. We're now at the end of the week and everyone's preparing to go to Lily's recital, but Big decides not to go. And he decides to work out on his Peloton instead. He gets off of his Peloton and he has a heart attack while waiting to take a shower. When Carrie gets home, she finds him on the brink of life and death. And it's a very emotional scene. Like, I was like, as much as I did not like Big's character, I shed a tear. But I do believe Carrie's arc, because of Big's death, it opens up new stories. I wouldn't want to just see Carrie and Big living married life. I like seeing Charlotte and Harry living married life because their kids keep it so interesting. But Carrie and Big don't have kids. It would have just been them two just being like, "Oh, don't sit on the couch, don't." It would have been like the second movie all over again. I would have been bored. I'm sorry. Episode 2 follows Big's funeral, and Samantha sends Carrie flowers. Throughout this entire season, you'll see Samantha and Carrie like texting because Kim Cattrall didn't want to come back to reprise her role as Samantha. I understand why. I want to come back either. Che comes to the funeral to support Carrie. Che and Miranda meet at the funeral after Che offers Brady some of that lettuce, if you know what I mean. Miranda and Nia start to become like friends, kind of, sort of. I feel like it felt really out of the blue, especially since Nia was just avoiding Miranda on the subway. Miranda stops Nia from being mugged, but Miranda's alcoholism worsens over this episode. In episode 3, Carrie finds out that Big left Natasha $1 million and thinks that they are still in contact. So, Carrie stalks Natasha. What is wrong with you? Like, what is your issue? Like, I just don't understand Carrie about y'all. She sends her emails, DMs, shows up to her workplace, and the one time she doesn't mean to find her, she does. Oh my God. Oh. They run into each other in a coffee shop, and Natasha is just as confused as Carrie was with Big's will. But she just wants Carrie to leave her alone. Like, seriously. I would want Carrie to leave me alone too. Charlotte's youngest child, Rose, admits that they don't feel like a girl. And Charlotte's like a little confused by this. She talks to Anthony about it. Charlotte begins to suspect that Miranda has a drinking problem after finding like little travel bottles, like the little ones. I don't know what they're called. And like her backpack of like Tito's. It's so funny. Why are you drinking little bottles of Tito's? You really want to drink, huh? All of the girls go to Che's comedy act, and Miranda starts to take an interest in Che. I wonder where that'll go. In episode 4, Carrie decides to sell her and Big's apartment and goes to a realtor named Seema Patel, who I think is supposed to replace Samantha. She has the same quips as her, the same like vibe, you know, she's a single girl, but she's like actively looking for a man, unlike Samantha, who would just hunch on him and go. Nia and Miranda go to dinner, and they bond over Nia's trouble with IVF and Miranda's difficulty with being a mother and being dissatisfied with life. This is also the episode Stanford leaves for Japan and asks Anthony for a divorce. In episode 5, Carrie is feeling immense pain in her hip as Seema hooks her up with her cousin, who is a doctor. Carrie finds out that she has a birth defect and must get surgery to correct the issue. While recovering, Charlotte and Miranda take turns taking care of Carrie. During one of Miranda's days, Che stops by Carrie's apartment with tequila, and they are taking shots. Everybody! Miranda and Che have sex in Carrie's kitchen. Because Miranda is too busy with Che, Carrie wets the bed and sees Miranda and Che having sex in her kitchen. Miranda thinks Charlotte anonymously ordered a book for Miranda about quitting drinking, but then when she realizes that she ordered it while she was drunk, Miranda realizes that she has to quit drinking. Rose comes out to Charlotte as non-binary and would like to be referred to as Rock. In episode 6, Carrie buys a new apartment, and by the end of the episode, Carrie gets her old apartment back. In episode 7, Carrie writes a book about Big's death and her life after it, and the tone is very different from her other books. Her editor wants to add a glimmer of hope at the end of the book and asks her to go on a date. She goes out with another widower named Peter, who is a math teacher. The two get wasted and they both throw up on the street. Miranda tries to DM Che but goes unanswered, and Miranda tries to revive her and Steve's sex life, but that fails as well. Nia and her husband, Andre Rashad, decide to conceive naturally or not have children at all because Nia is tired of going through IVF and those hormone pills. It's just too much. Lisa puts together a fundraiser for the school, and Charlotte convinces Carrie to auction a date with her. But it gets embarrassing rather quickly. Peter ends up being a teacher at that school and bids on Carrie and wins the date. Miranda runs into Che at the auction and confronts them about the DMs, but they say they get too many DMs and they just missed it. They have sex. Ooh. Teenage boy alert, teenage boy alert. They have sex and Miranda expresses their feelings towards Che. In episode 8, Miranda goes to see Che speak at a protest, and Che finds out that Miranda is not in an open marriage. Mind you, Miranda never said that she was in an open marriage. Miranda was just cheating. Lily walks in on Charlotte and Harry having oral sex, and Charlotte says that she was checking Harry for cancer. This entire episode, Lily is acting weird because she thinks her father may have cancer. And Charlotte thinks she's acting weird because she saw what she saw. Carrie's downstairs neighbor, Lizette, is doing a lot and is making a lot of noise on the stoop. Miranda asks Steve for a divorce once Che tells Miranda their feelings for her. Miranda asking Steve for a divorce, I really like what Steve says. He says that he's too old to be fighting for them. Because it's always been like that. Miranda thinks that there are better things in the world than Steve, that Steve will never be enough for Miranda. And I just think that's the truth. Steve will never be enough for Miranda. Steve is just like, why can't we just be old together? We're old. Like Miranda is scared to be an old married couple all of a sudden, which I just don't understand. In episode 9, the funniest moment of the show happens when Anthony invites a man to Charlotte's for dinner, and the man finds out that Charlotte's family is Jewish, and he says,
"You know, the Holocaust is a hoax, right?"
Get out!
And Anthony yells, "Get out!" And Anthony is just like me for real. Miranda invites all of the girls out to paint a women's shelter that Naya organized and helped put together, and they all pop out, including Steve. This is a one-way ticket to Mess City. I mean, all aboard. Choo-choo to Mess City. While painting, Steve expressed to Carrie that his wedding ring will never come off because he will always feel married to Miranda. Naya and Andre are arguing about children again. Okay, and you're arguing about this thunder. Okay? Naya and Andre are arguing about children again, and Andre just can't seem to understand that the topic of children depresses Naya. I mean, it hurts her that she cannot give Andre what he wants, and he just keeps rubbing salt in that wound. Like, oh my gosh, we can do this. We can just try another round of IVF. We can do this. We can do that. We can... Don't make me mad, Andre Rashad. And he's acting like he doesn't understand. I don't understand how he doesn't understand that this is frustrating her, because Naya's just saying it straight up, and he's just being stupid. I just cannot stand Andre Rashad. And while at this women's shelters event, Seema meets a bar owner named Zed. The final episode of season 1 of And Just Like That is a lot for me mentally. Miranda declines a highly competitive internship to move to Los Angeles with Che for their pilot. Miranda, what's going on? Is the red hair dye seeping into your brain, or are you just this stupid naturally? Is there something going on? Is everything all right at home? Clearly it's not. Miranda isn't the only one going their separate ways, because Andre goes on tour and leaves Naya in New York. Che's podcast producer named Franklin offers Carrie their spot, and Carrie agrees to make a Sex in the City podcast. After recording her first episode, Carrie and Franklin kiss in the elevator. At Rock's day mitzvah, Rock denounces religion, gender, and everything else. While Miranda is leaving for LA, Brady and Louisa are leaving for Europe and plan to visit multiple countries over the summer. Season 2 is Messy Boots. Episode 1 of season 2 begins with a montage of Carrie and Franklin being laid up. Carrie doesn't know who to take to the Met Gala, with either Seema, Franklin, or Anthony could be her date. But when the day comes, her designer, who is Jackie's girlfriend named Smoke, brings a dress that cannot fit Carrie. She has to wear her wedding dress from the first movie, which is still beautiful. Miranda is trying to fill her days while Che is busy with their pilot. Seema breaks out with Zed because he's giving her mooch vibes, but gives him another chance after speaking with her stylist. After being hit on by a good-looking man, Naya goes home very drunk and FaceTimes her husband to get freaky on the phone. When she calls Andre is moving really weird, and he's in a room with another woman. who he says is just a colleague from work, but Naya can caught that tea from a mile away. In episode 2, Carrie and her other producer is beefing over a vaginal products commercial. Carrie was so in the wrong here. I'm sorry. The words that Carrie was using weren't even that awkward. Like, she's acting like a middle school boy. Like, because of Carrie's uncooperativeness, the entire company goes down, which is incredibly dramatic. Because I'm like, how much money was she gonna get for this vaginal products commercial? It was not that serious. Andre and Naya call each other a week after the whole FaceTime debacle, and Andre admits that he was on the verge of cheating on Naya. And he says the way to save their marriage is surrogacy. Naya asks for a divorce. Miranda goes to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting and meets someone who invites her to a beach cleanup, where she loses her phone and has to find a way to call Che. When she does call them, Che calls a friend named Lyle, who is actually Che's husband. Carrie and Franklin stop seeing each other. While recording the audiobook for her latest memoir, Carrie cannot make it past chapter 3, where she details Big's death. She pretends to have COVID so she can get out of it, but they buy her some more time and gets her an extra week in the studio. And by the end of the episode, she works through the issue. There's a MILF at Charlotte and Lisa's children's school. The two are number 2 and 3 on the list. And it's like a whole weird moment when they find out who's the one that made the list. And apparently the boy is like really attractive. But at the end of the day, y'all are at least 40 years old. Like, y'all are really weird. And it's just really strange that y'all are pouncing on this little boy. That's a little boy. That is a boy. What? Ew. That grossed me out so much. I had to pause the episode and I just think, I was just like, there is no way this is cool. There's no way that we're supposed to laugh. I'm concerned and grossed out. Yuck! Che is not satisfied with their character on their pilot, and while in line to watch Che's pilot being filmed, Brady calls Miranda in tears saying that Louisa broke up with him and abandoned him in Amsterdam. So Miranda sneaks her phone into the studio in case Brady calls again. And of course Brady calls again, and Miranda's phone ringer interrupts the scene, and it's just really embarrassing for everybody. And Che is really upset with Miranda because Miranda decides to leave for New York to meet Brady. Miranda, Steve, and Brady go to family counseling, and Brady expressed that he wants Miranda and Steve just to get a divorce and just get it over with. And he also expressed that he doesn't want to go to college anymore. Che is back in New York and buys like this high-rise apartment. And Che, Lyle, and Miranda are about to have a menage a trois. And Miranda gets an insane Charlie horse and decides to not have the menage a trois. Charlotte received a job offer from Mark Kasabian, who is an art gallery owner. He is played by the same actor who plays Mr. Callahan in Legally Blonde. I have to make a Legally Blonde video sometime. I really do. Maybe after the Dove Wears Prada video. In episode 5, Miranda is struggling to get from Brooklyn to Manhattan, and she is drained. And not to mention, Che and Miranda have completely different schedules. Wait. Are they recycling Miranda and Steve's storyline from the original Sex and the City? Am I tripping right now? And just like that, writers, do not make me mad. Rock is offered a modeling job at Ralph Lauren, and Charlotte is too excited and Harry is too suspicious. Che gets negative feedback regarding the non-binary character that they are portraying in their pilot, so it is not picked up. In episode 6, Carrie and Seema plan to rent a house in the Hamptons for the summer. Miranda starts staying with Naya to lessen the stress of her commute. Herbert, wait, I think this is my first time referring to him as his name. That's Lisa's husband, and he is played by George Washington.
Now I lie awake, knowing history has its eyes on me.
Herbert is running for city comptroller after Lisa announced it to get her dad off of his back. He wants Lisa to attend an event in support of his campaign, but this event was also the same day as an event honoring Lisa as a Black filmmaker. Now, George, why would she want to attend your event when she's being honored by the Museum of Modern Art? Why would she do that? Che is in deep depression over losing their pilot, and Carrie forces them to go out of the house and go to WidowCon with her. Then this snowstorm hits New York City and everyone is fighting for their lives in the snow, but they all end up at their respective events. Except Herbert, who goes to support Lisa. Steve refuses to move out of the house in Brooklyn. Carrie emails Aidan at the end of the episode. Why must you do this to me and him? Episode 7 revolves around Valentine's Day, which is when Aidan asks Carrie to meet him for dinner. This could mean nothing, or it could mean everything. Carrie goes to the wrong restaurant and is waiting there for like almost an hour, but then they finally see each other and they kiss. However, Aidan refuses to go inside of Carrie's apartment because of the horrible memories that are there. Drew Barrymore invites Anthony and a hot fella to the show, but he finds out that all of his wholesome hot employees are doping, so he fires them. Fortunately, Charlotte finds an Italian poet named Giuseppe in a bookstore that would be perfect for this job. They go viral for his large penis, and Charlotte starts working at Mark's gallery. In episode 8, Carrie begins to rent Che's apartment for when Aidan visits, and Carrie plans to visit Aidan's farm in Norfolk to meet his 3 sons. Miranda begins her internship with the Human Rights Watch and immediately gets the important jobs over the 2 interns that have been there for months. Mind you, Miranda has over 30 years of experience, so why would the interns get the job over you? When Anthony finds out Giuseppe is gay, he fires him because he doesn't want to cross the line. However, Giuseppe doesn't take this lying down and decides to quit so he can be with Anthony. Seema and Carrie's friendship is a little rocky because Carrie has forgotten about their summer rental and has been all Aidan. This may be a little rushed, guys, because the power's about to go out and I need to lock in. In episode 9, Aidan's youngest son Wyatt is indifferent towards Carrie. Carrie and Aidan can no longer stay at Che's apartment due to them overstaying their welcome with the building's management. Seema begins dating one of her clients, a successful movie director named Robbie. Once kaboom! Miranda wants Lily to convince Brady to go to college, but the two start hooking up. Y'all are like cousins. Like, I don't care. That's weird. I don't care. That's really, really strange. Oh my gosh, y'all. I'm stressed. My voice is cracking. I don't know why. In episode 10, Steve opens up a food stand in Coney Island that Aidan and Carrie go visit. Carrie sells her old apartment to Lizette and plans a dinner prepared by a Michelin chef. Aidan says he cannot go to the dinner because it's held at Carrie's old apartment. He is worried that he won't be able to let go of the hurt if he's back where it all happened. Lisa finds out she is pregnant and is interfering with her work because she keeps falling asleep everywhere, but she suffers a miscarriage later in the episode. Anthony refuses to let Giuseppe do the bending, and Stanford writes a letter to Carrie saying that he is now a Shinto monk and releases all of his assets to Anthony. Che comes back to stand up and Miranda attends their show. Che is making so many jokes about Miranda and their relationship.
Woo! Yeah, my lady was very confused. Am I queer? Am I bi? Am I les? Am I just all over the LGBTQIA plus menu?
I would cry if I was Miranda. Aidan goes back to Virginia because Wyatt was in a really bad car crash. In the final episode of And Just Like That, they show Samantha! Oh my gosh! I was so happy. I miss Samantha so much, and I forgot how it actually was like seeing her on screen because I watched so much of the Carrie Diaries. Oh my gosh. Samantha gives Carrie a call saying that she wanted to surprise her, but she couldn't make it to the Last Supper. Because of her new job, Charlotte pushes Harry to help her run the household. And during the dinner, Giuseppe says that he plans to move back to Rome, and Anthony's like, you plan to do what? And then by the end of the episode, Giuseppe's like, forget about Rome, I just want you. And then Anthony lets him do the bending. Lisa and Herbert move past Lisa's miscarriage. Che and Miranda are finally back to being like friends again. It's really chill. Ravi is constantly on the phone ever since Seema told him that she loves him in the last episode. They're all work-related calls, like they're really work-related calls, and Seema is really paranoid about it. But Ravi's like, there's no need to be paranoid. Like, I'm shooting a film in Egypt. It's gonna be a lot of work-related calls. Naya flirts with Toussaint Feldman, who was the fine man that flirted with her when she was married. But now that she's not married, oh, it's all like Donkey Kong, okay? He is also the Michelin chef preparing Carrie's dinner, and the BBC interviews Miranda regarding a human rights issue. Because of Wyatt's crash, Aidan says that he cannot be with Carrie until he is an adult, so he asked for a 5-year pause on their relationship. The show ends with Carrie and Seema in Greece, both with a pin in their relationships. And just like that gets more hate than it deserves. Most of the hate is for Miranda and Che's relationships, which I do believe Miranda moving to LA and giving up that internship was very out of character. But I think Miranda is at a point in her life where she does not need a career, but she does need love, so she is chasing that feeling with Che. Carrie and Aidan were like so random. I just feel like they wanted to bring Aidan back just for the sake of bringing him back. Charlotte's arc with Rock was really like interesting, especially since Charlotte is so set in gender norms. It was just very true to Charlotte's character for acting like that. Sarah Ramirez, who is the actor for Che Diaz, said that they are not going to return as the character for season 3, and neither did Karen Pittman, who is the actor for Nia Wallace. So what's going on? What's going on with season 3? I don't know why they're making a season 3 if none of the actors are coming back. I'm so confused. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This is the end of the Everything Wrong with Sex and the City series. Up next is The Devil Wears Prada. I don't think it's gonna be like a Everything Wrong With, but I think it is just gonna be a video breaking down The Devil Wears Prada, everything I love about it, everything that may annoy me. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie in a while, but I really want to revisit it because it used to be like one of my favorite movies when I was younger. I am really excited for the videos to come, and I really hope y'all stay along for the ride. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for 1,000 subscribers. That is insane. I just want to say thank you. I can't express it enough. Since I am done talking and done rambling, I just want to say that's it. Bye guys.